All right, good morning. Welcome everyone to our October the 15th police jury meeting. We have a roll call, please.
Mr. Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Stevens.
Here.
Mr. Ruffin.
Here.
Mr. Bison. Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Mr. Garcia. Mr. Spolvedo.
Here.
Mr. Remedy.
Here.
Mr. Byrd. Mr. President, we have six jurors present. We have a quorum.
Be 6-3. All right. Mr. Ruffin, would you lead us in prayer?
I will.
And Mr. Stewart in the pledge.
Let us pray. Most gracious Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come and serve. We pray that the things that we do will be pleasing in your sight. Father, we pray a special blessing on this meeting and all the things that we do. We pray you to bless our national, state, and local government. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to, do we need to amend the agenda? Do we have any amendments? Moving on. I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Bo, second by Bruce. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Public comments. This is a period of public comments. Anyone in here has a comment on any, public comment on any agenda item? This is your time for public comments. Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna try to do it without getting.
Name, I'm sorry, could you state your name, please?
Cassandra Wall. Besides being an employee for MedExpress, I am a citizen of this parish. And I know in those contracts, it tells y'all you have a diligence to look at everything, to call around to get numbers to see how not only we hold up in other parishes, how Acadia, how Pafford, how all of us hold up. And I just pray y'all done that. This is a family. Y'all are my family. And I know you cannot make everybody happy. I understand that wholeheartedly. I give this job my all, this community my all. But I just pray that y'all have looked at the numbers, standings of what each company has to offer before making that final vote today. I know we stand ready to continue to serve, like we always will. I've never worked for Pafford. I've never worked for Acadia. I ran on the ground beside these two teams. I know what I've seen firsthand from each company. I've also had experiences with Acadian, taking care of me and my unborn child. If it's not, I just hate to say it this way, but if it's not MedExpress, I'd rather see it be Pafford. Acadian, I have took care of their patients in ambulance bays, where they have dumped them in the ambulance bay in Rapides. We run and pick up their slack in Vernon, in Beauregard. I mean, those are dual service providers. And And if you look at the number, I know Vernon don't keep actual numbers, but I know Beauregard does, and if you look at where they're sitting at, how can you wanna take over another parish where you're the sole provider? You're it. You're it for me, you're it for my mom, you're it for my kids. And you're not meeting where there's dual providers. I'm not upper management. I don't look at all those numbers. I know what I see on the ground, and I know the people I take care of. And like I said, I just hope everybody is aware to all the facts and the numbers, because anybody can paint a pretty picture. MedExpress can paint a pretty picture. Patrick can paint a pretty picture. Katie can paint a pretty picture. But at the end of the day, if you don't hold to that picture, you're left with what we have seen and what we are trying to fix and correct. MedExpress has come a long way. The first time I worked for this company, man, it was brutal. We ran like dogs. There was only 2 trucks here. We couldn't get back up here, but I'm gonna tell you, they've made strides and bounds to provide to the community, to y'all. Added extra trucks. Anytime we need something, I could call any member of my upper management, anytime, any day, any place, on vacation, and tell them, hey, I need this. And they will have it routed to this parish. I just really hope y'all looked at the numbers and consider what all these other parishes are facing right now. Trying and make the correct decision, what's best on the community. And that's all I gotta say.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Can I ask you?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, I want y'all to remember, you have 9 to 10 citizens that are employed by MedExpress, that spend dollars here, that pay tax on it. What are you gonna do to their livelihood if you don't keep MedExpress? Yeah, it may just be 9 people, may just be 9 families. Please think about that. Please think about how far MedExpress has come. Because 10 years ago, well, yeah, they've come a long ways. Please think about that when we make this decision today.
What was your name,
My
ma'am?
name is Anna Brewer. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
My name is Joshua Hibbler. I'm a paramedic, live in this parish. I've been in EMS for approximately 15 years. I have had the privilege of serving for MedExpress for 10 of those years, as well as Patrick Ambulance Service for 2.5 of those years. Thoroughly enjoyed my experience with both of those services. I have not had the privilege of serving with Acadian. Again, I can reiterate her comments. I have ran beside Acadian as well. I have, of course, served with these other 2 services. So I know the kind of care that I provided as well as I saw others provide. I strongly urge that y'all have done your due diligence to review the different comments from your constituents, as well as the numbers that have been, that will be put before you today are numbers that you've previously seen. There is unfortunately a lot of problems in the healthcare system. Every service has their issues. We understand that. We are today hopefully looking for what is the best for our parish, for my family, for your families, for all of our families that live here. We want to be able to provide the most rapid and best care that could be possible for our parish. I can only hope that any of the proposals that were placed before the ambulance board last night are honest and truthful in their entirety. That's the only thing that I can hope and pray for in that situation. I do understand they did their due diligence to review those with an unbiased opinion as much as they could. So again, I do strongly urge you to consider the voices of your people here and do what is best for our parish. I do appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Labrisca Smith. I do work with MedExpress, but I'm also a citizen of this parish. And I worked with MedExpress for 7 years now, or 7.5. It is a family. And a couple months ago, I was on the truck and suffered near cardiac arrest. Within minutes, my supervisor was there at the hospital with me. The hospital took care of me. Air evac was en route to me. And I firmly believe, had it not been for God and MedExpress, I wouldn't be here today. So this is a family that, like I say, I can call, with Cassie, I reiterate what she said, we can call them any time of the day or night, and they are there. They don't answer the phone upset, they, if we need them, how can I help you? What can I do? And they get to us as quickly as humanly possible. And we care about our citizens, we care about our parish. I'm not saying that the other two companies do not, but we live here. We run calls on people that we know. When we walk in and they see a familiar face, or you run into people in Walmart. I taught school here for 23 and a half years, so the people I know are numerous. I've had people that will come up to me, and I can't remember them because they've grown up now. I taught early elementary school, but just seeing their faces when they see us, and they relax, and families relax because they know they're going to get taken care of. Our goal, my partner and I, we always said, was to bring a little ray of sunshine on their patient's worst day, because when we're called, it literally is one of their worst days. And I just hope and pray that y'all look at the numbers, you look at the comments from different citizens, and you consider what everyone wants in this parish.
Thank you, ma'am.
Was there anyone else out there?
Yes, ma'am.
Med Express showed up at my house when my husband was down. They was not even, they just happened to be driving through from a trip. They needed them, they put them at my house. They loaded my husband up. They called a helicopter. They landed right down the street from my house at Mount Zion Cemetery. They gave me the best respect. Even though he passed away the next morning, I couldn't ask for a better crew. They need to be here. That's all it is to me. Because I know, I'm born and raised here. I know these people. And this crew wasn't even from here. And they treated me just like if it was the brisket. They need to stay. And that's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
I did not absolutely come here anything to do with the express. I'm Shannon Gaspard. But I just wanted to state, as a citizen and as a person that lives here, one night I had to ride an ambulance with my mother-in-law. And LaBrisca was driving that ambulance. And I was terrified. But when I saw her face, I was calm because I knew who she was and that she was going to get us there. So I don't have a dog in the hunt other than just a personal experience, and I wasn't going to say anything, but I have to verify also, these are local people, mostly, or a lot of them are. So I am thankful that they have been here also.
Thank you, ma'am.
I got a question. Okay, well, will there be if it happened to change or anything, will there be a trial period to see if this works, or is it a done deal, cut and dried?
It'll be a trial deal, but we'll cover that in the,
Okay.
When the board makes a recommendation.
yeah, on the item 17.
Okay.
Be able to answer all our questions.
Okay.
There may not be any change anyway. We just have to see what they recommend.
Is there any other public comments on any other agenda items or that item, any item, before we move on? All right, let's move on. Thank y'all for your comments. Moving on to item 8. Senator Alan Seabog, is anyone here from his office? Ms. Shamahorn's office?
Shannon, it's your turn to speak.
Do we have?
Quit talking to Travis back here and talk to us.
I'm sorry. I am here to represent Shamahorn. I just want to give y'all just a little brief, something that's taken place in the last week. There was a letter written, and it's regarding the 45Q tax, and it was sent to all the Louisiana congressional members all of the Senate, all of the representatives here from the state of Louisiana. And it was a letter that Representative Shenahorn wrote, and it is to do away with the 45Q and to apply those monies to our national debt and in hopes that it may make some difference. So we've gotten a lot of positive response from this letter. So if anyone is interested in having a copy of this letter, just contact me at the office and we'll be glad to get it out to you.
If you don't mind, would you send a copy up here to the office
I'll
for
take
us?
care of that.
Thank you.
I sure will.
Anyone here from Representative Bagley's office? Planning Commission, I know Mr. Hughes is out on vacation. Is anyone here from the Planning Commission that has a report of anything? Paul's not around.
I'm on the planning commission.
Oh, you?
We went to, Lafayette last Friday. We have a 4-hour, as part of our, being, on the planning commission board, we have a 4-hour training, mandatory training. We went and did that, Friday. And, we're working on revising the ordinance. There's a lot of things in there that as we, do more and more stuff on the planning commission, that, we find some faults in that ordinance. I know we adopted the new one in November of last year, but we are working diligently and having workshops to try to revise that because there's a lot of pages that's just a lot of reading.
Mhm.
That repeats itself and everything else. So we're working on that to try to get that done and bring feedback to y'all to let y'all know all the changes. And there's just a lot of stuff that, from the original ordinance, that there was a lot of amendments that when we redid it in November, we were unaware of those changes. We're trying to incorporate back in there. And people are submitting tracts of land to us to approve, has to do with square footage, sewer requirements, all that kind of nitty gritty good stuff. So we are doing that. This past meeting, we meet once a month here at the police jury room. Last week, I guess we met, it was, I think we did 7 plats of land. So people are bringing it to us, we're working with the surveyors, on what we need and everything else, but we are working on that diligently, trying to get that ordinance revised, and I'll have to bring back to y'all.
Good. So it's working a lot better than it has in the
Oh,
past.
definitely. I mean, we are working very hard on we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we're trying
Right.
to make those changes. There's a lot of gibberish in it, a
Yeah.
lot of stuff that nobody knows what it means, that can be reworded.
I'm going to call her.
Some requirements back in the early 70s and stuff that times have changed.
Yeah.
And everything else, and some revisions need to be made. But it's a process.
Good deal.
It's not something we can do overnight. And we do have workshops, where we strictly work on that. You know, we're taking it page by page, step by step, section by section, and seeing what we need or not to benefit all the parish citizens.
Okay.
And all the people.
All right. Thank you, ma'am, and thank y'all for y'all's job there. Item 12, to accept the minutes of the previous regular meeting held September 17th.
I'll make that motion.
Motion Bo, second by Bruce. All in favor? All opposed? 13 is Mr. Stan Haslip, 2026 renewal of the PGRMA health and dental insurance.
Sir, thank you.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. It's nice to
Don't seem like it ain't been that long you was here, so.
I was here last year.
Just the one time meeting, you know what I mean?
Flies around, don't it?
AC on this morning, though. Usually it's freezing in here. Thank y'all for letting me be on the agenda today. PGRMA is coming in with a 2% adjustment, which is very minimal. And the 2% equates to about $27,000 increase annually. Again, that's a good relief. And I've highlighted one area here, and you will see loss ratio. So to give you an idea of how this is calculated, last year y'all came in with a 4.8% adjustment. Y'all's loss ratio was 100%. This year being 2%, y'all's loss ratio is on 73. So the health plan is performing great. There's a few claims on here, not near as bad as in the past. So 2% is a great review.
So this is for the year's costing us how much more?
$26,000. Yes, sir.
Any questions or,
Has the finance committee reviewed it?
no, see, this is the first
First we're seeing it.
we've received.
First time we've seen this.
Yeah.
And there is an option, with PGR make to change up the benefit plan. If y'all wanted to save on this year, you could always switch this to a $1,500 deductible. That would save you about $42,000 a year. Again, it would raise the deductible, it would adjust the out of pocket for employees. It's just if y'all are wanting to save, there is an option to do that.
Any finance committee?
$1,500.
Yes, sir. Y'all are currently at a state.
That is $750 now.
Do we have a timeline to approve this?
Yes,
No.
Is it
yes, if I may. it's
Say it again?
Yes, November 1st, it has to be in place.
November 1st? Okay, so we got a couple of weeks, is it? We really don't have time for the finance committee to look at it.
Finance will be probably next week.
Next week.
They look at it next week.
Yeah, but we have to come back and approve it.
Special meeting.
So you have to have a special meeting to approve it, because we've got to approve it as a full jury. Can we enact? Can we authorize the finance committee to review and make a determination?
Can we do that,
Let
Bill?
them
Can we,
act Is that
can the
possible?
jury authorize the finance committee to make a decision? And,
The finance committee can't make the decision.
we can approve it.
Finance committee can make a recommendation to the
To
jury
the jury.
Well,
then
the
we got-
jury would have to come back.
we still have to come
special
back and-
call meeting.
$1,500 deductible is pretty high for some of these.
Yes,
I'm against that.
yeah, I
That's
don't.
gonna hurt
yeah.
our people, and we don't wanna do that.
Right.
I make a motion that we accept these.
Okay. Got a motion by Bruce. Need a second for guys.
I'll second that.
Got a second by Ruffin. All in favor? All opposed?
I'm gonna make a comment that I wish this needs to come to us in time to have us properly review it.
Yes, I agree.
Get it at this meeting is uncalled for and shouldn't happen.
I agree.
With 2 weeks to go to be able to keep our.
Should have had
people-
it last month.
We should have this time.
Yeah,
reviewed.
if the date
Should
is
have time to
November
go to
the first,
Yes, sir.
if that date's November first, yeah, I
It
understand.
needs to
what
go
you're
to
saying.
the finance
Right, we
committee
need to
and
do
then
that.
come back with a
And review.
recommendation
Review.
to our board.
I agree.
The rule is produced about 2 weeks before October. So, as soon as I get my hands on this,
That would be
I
great.
come to
That
y'all
would be great.
immediately. So that's the way I do it every year. Time frame is always an issue. I get that, but I can only produce this when I have it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You approve it.
Item 14 is Mr. Buddy Maxwell presents the renewal proposal for general liability, automobile liability and physical damage, management liability, employee bond, property, cyber liability, workers' comp.
Good morning, good
Good
morning.
morning.
I'm Buddy Maxwell, I'm with Risk Services. I've been working with Bill Weatherford for probably 6-7 years, handling your property and casualty insurance. Kind of give you just a little background. In past years, we'd come and we'd look at probably Travelers, One Beacon, Hudson, and a couple of other providers. In the last couple of years, that has shrunk down to where there's probably only 2 players, Travelers being a mainstay player, Hudson being a group that the last time I talked to them, they didn't want to handle the phys damage on the autos, and they didn't want the parish buildings exposure. So, you start thinking about that, and that just almost lets them out. And we went back one time and we used their quotes, and we went to surplus markets and tried to cobble something together. And it still came out probably about 60,000 over what Travelers was willing to do. So we see Travelers as a very consistent player here. They do a lot of business. I handle about 5 parishes. We also do multiple school boards, a lot of property with them, and probably about 40 towns here in the state. So we're Risk Services of Louisiana. We're part of the Levitt Group, which doesn't mean that much to us, but it's like the 17th largest privately held insurance agency in the country, which really gives us access to any kind of market that we're looking for to do a good job for you guys. I think the positive thing here, we had sent a proposal out to you, and I apologize for it being as late as this, but it was October 15th, I think, last year when we did this, and we had to have this special meeting. But we had about a 4% increase, which I'm looking at this thing and thinking, that's pretty good. We had a 4% increase. We in total, probably about $22,000 increase. Of that $22,000, about $14,000 of it was general liability. And the general liability basically reflects the activity of the parish. We send them the budget and what have you, and we had a couple of really small claims in there. So again, that was most of the activity there. Some of the other things, the employment practices, management, they went up like $1,900, $2,000, something small like that. And then we also have cyber. Cyber went up probably $2,500. We got $1 million cyber policy. Hopefully we'll never have to use that, but it's not uncommon that they have claims, and that's constantly creeped up because basically if they have a cyber claim, it's somebody from overseas, they can't track them, they don't know what. So someone says, hey, if you don't send us $250,000 in the next 2 hours, we're going to shut you down. So you have to have cyber in this environment. And then the last part of that was our workers' comp. And, last year we were at 88,000. This year it was 80,000. So we had a decrease, and that basically reflected a little bit lower payroll. But we also had what they call an EMOD. Everybody's a 1.0 EMOD. They take your premium and use that EMOD. Well, last year we were 1.01. This year 1.06. So we had about a 5% increase due to the EMOD increase, which does reflect some small claims that we had. And we're constantly working with Bill and Ally to let them know what that is and what we can do to present that and to prevent it. And we also have the insurance coming in, doing due diligence and working with us. If they see something that might lead to a recurrence of that type claim, they're trying to help us with that. So all in all, we are a 4% increase. We have a proposal here. When I look at this thing and everybody looks at it, now I know why I hate insurance. But what we try to do, if you go into this thing about the 6th or 7th page, we do a little crosshatch here that compares the premiums for the major lines last year, the deductibles, and the new premium. And you can see on this last year, our premium was $552. That's the bottom, first column at the bottom there, if you were looking at this page in your handout. If you looked at that, it was $552, and we went to $574 this year, and that's the $22,000 increase of 4%. And if you looked up here, our deductibles all stayed the same. Travelers last year, Travelers this year. I thought we looked pretty good. We held real steady on our auto liability and phys dam. That was real close to last year. We had a couple of changes in vehicles. And we're constantly working with Bill to say anything newer than 2016, we insure. Anything older than that, we may not want to insure because with deductible, it would be cost effective. But then we look, and Bill looks at this, he looks at some of the vehicles that even though they're over 10 years old, are still pretty expensive, and we insure those for phys damage. Everything's insured for liability. So that's kind of a recap of what I think are the salient points of this. Again, I think we got a good quote here. We had a lot of back and forth with travelers, providing them with information right up to the last minute. So again, I apologize for it being a little bit late. Bill, do you have a question?
I didn't see inland marine here.
Yes, it's on there.
I'd like to just remind everybody, we had that damage to the compactor. We got a $576,000 settlement out of that. That had a book value of $364,000.
Yeah.
So that's a recovery we had because we have this type of coverage.
And I was looking at that. Last year, our premium on inland marine was $11,637. This year it went to $13,252. So I think they were very fair to us considering that huge claim that we had. But Travelers is fair. We had them in our office yesterday talking to us. You know, we're one of the big players with Travelers. We have a good sized book. So if we had a problem or something, we have direct contact with underwriters and people there who can respond to helping us do the best job we can do for the various parishes that we work with. Any other questions, or what are y'all thinking? I can go into more detail. I think I pretty well summed it up here. 4%, $16,000 increase. That looks pretty good to me. And like I say, most of it was in general liability, which is kind of a nebulous way, the way that they underwrite that. It's activity plus some small claims. But I think we're doing very well. We're always trying to pay attention to work comp and keep our claims down. If we have a claim, respond to it very quickly.
So you say that the vehicles that once they get a certain age, we just take them out of the coverage
Of the phys damage.
Okay, phys damage.
You know, if the vehicle's worth $8,000 or $10,000 and you got $1,000 deductible, it's questionable whether you ought to have that as a claim, with the idea being that, you know, it's probably going to increase your premium. You know. But we're always watching that, and you know, and if we see something we need to change, we can always go in and change it by endorsement. But I've looked it over and it looks like it, you know, that we're in pretty good shape.
And as far as our buildings, you're in your first present part of it, you mentioned our building, but we still, everything's good on all coverage on all our buildings.
You know what we have when you look at buildings, you have actual cash value or replacement. We have replacement cost, which is very important. If you had actual cash value, they look at the replacement cost and then depreciation, you get depreciated value. So we're always trying to get replacement costs, which we have that, and we have the highest level of claims in that. So I think we're in good shape. We saw the last 2 years, Travelers had been going around and doing valuations on buildings because everybody was typically about 30-40% too low. So we've been through that. Like last year's renewal was an 18% increase. Most of it was due to them saying, hey, your buildings are undervalued. And we want them, like we got 80% co-insurance. So if we have a claim and we're within 80% of the replacement value of that building, if it's a partial claim, they're going to pay it all. So I think we're in good shape. Like I say, Bill and I are constantly looking back and forth. And we appreciate being able to do that, the responsiveness that you guys have. And, you know, our common efforts to make sure we don't have something that's not covered.
Right.
Bill, what do you think? What do you think?
I'm all for renewing it. I mean, it's been good to us.
That claim, you got $200,000 more than what it valued?
Been appreciated value.
And see, that's the thing, you have to be careful on equipment. We have some people looking at their equipment and saying, hey, this piece of equipment's 8 years old. Let's take depreciation off. It was only set up for maybe 12-year depreciation. But the problem is some of that used equipment is more valuable because it's scarce today.
Mhm.
And so you got to be careful with your equipment, but you can't
So
just
with
take
that
straight
extra
line.
200,000, we were able to buy a new unit.
We're purchasing the,
Purchasing
releasing
first.
the unit.
So probably real cash flow positive for you guys.
Well, we need to go on motion.
Need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I
We accept.
second.
We got a motion by Mr. Ruffin,
I second.
second by Relitas. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
And we appreciate your.
Thank you.
Very much.
Item 15, Ms. Jody Cook, Director of Sabine Parish Library Board, to provide an update on library activities. Good morning, how you doing?
Great, how are y'all?
Good.
Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to just give you a good update on the library, introduce myself. I'm Jody Cook. I've been the director since July 1st upon the retirement of our previous director. And really grateful and excited for the library board's confidence in me to take on the role. So my main goal and passion in this role is to make sure that the library is serving the ever-changing needs of our parish and our communities, and to really modernize the library. Libraries are changing because what people want and what they need is changing. So we have to make sure that we're changing with that. And I provided y'all a little packet just to kind of keep you up to date on what we have going on, how our statistics are. The first thing you have is our circulation report for the third quarter. This is all of our materials that are in-house at our 5 locations, and then also the ebooks resources that we provide as well. So circulation overall is up this now as over what it was this time last year. So that's always good. Of course, with anything, there's an ebb and flow. You've got people go out of town during the summer, or then we've got summer reading program, and then they start school. And so there's, of course, with anything, a little bit of an ebb and flow, but circulation overall is up. And you'll notice there is a pretty consistent increase down at the bottom of ebooks. So this is a resource that we're able to offer. We're in a consortium with several other parishes in the region, and it provides ebooks and audiobooks that people can download with their library card. And people love it. I mean, if the system goes down within 2 minutes, the phone's ringing. I can't get into my Libby. So people absolutely love those resources. And I'm hoping that we can maybe add a few more of those ebook resources next year. The next page that you have is our library visits. We keep track of how many visits we have. And you can see the whole year over on the right side. Our library visits have consistently been going up this year, so that's exciting. And then the next page is our computer usage and then what I call our paper services. So if we look at computer usage first, this is a resource that is invaluable, especially in our smaller communities. So each one of our libraries has a set of several patron computers people can come in and use, and we can assist them. We have people come in to do job applications, to do their taxes, or just to browse, whatever. So that is something that we offer, and we have consistent numbers on that every single quarter. People love that. The top of that sheet has our paper services. We just started tracking this earlier this year because we realized we do so much of it for people, but we didn't have the numbers of what we were actually doing. So just this past quarter, we sent 100. This is just at the Manning location. We sent 153 faxes. We scanned and emailed for people 40 times. And this is, a lot of times, this is even business owners who are not tech savvy and they've got to send a quote or something like that. We will scan it and email it for them. We made 658 copies. We helped 78 people on computers. We helped 111 people on their phones. People come in and can't work their phone, or they have a question, or they need to print from it. We printed 52 legal documents. A lot of times, law offices, clerk of court, they send people to us because we have a full database through the state library of legal documents that we can print for people. And then we also help 31 people with LAHEAP, which is the energy assistance program through the state. So we'll help them get all their things scanned in and get it sent to that program. So that is a huge resource that we offer because there's nowhere else really locally that people can go and fax and print and all of that. So the last page that you have is a calendar of events just to show you what all we have going on just this month. We've really tried to up a lot of our programs. So to recap it, we have 3 story times a week in Manny for different ages. We have 1 in Zawali. We just started a chess club for tweens and teens in Toledo Town in the afternoon. So they're even able to like get off the bus there. There's one of the moms is kind of overseeing that. So the kids can come right there and play chess on Thursdays. There's a quilt group starting in Converse. Pleasant Hill has game days twice a month. She coordinates with the pre-K teachers at the Pleasant Hill School. She's having an essay contest with the different grade levels right now. And in fact, Pleasant Hill has been booming so much and so overrun with people that we just gave her 4 more hours. She was open half a day on Mondays and half a day on Thursdays. And now she's got all day on Mondays. So we're excited about that. We had a Crochet 101 class at the main library last month that was a huge hit. They came and learned how to crochet. We had a book signing for a local author the beginning of this month in Zawali. And so one thing, though, that is universal, it's a universal problem in libraries, and they just echoed this at the state library at a class I went to. The universal problem is that libraries offer great resources that nobody knows about. So we're trying to change that. Our library, we just hired a marketing agency to take over all of our social media so that we can really get the word out about all the things that we do offer for the taxpayers of the parish. And then, of course, we're also upping other advertisement as well. So you'll hear us more on the radio, see our billboard in the newspaper, all of that. So overall, things are really great, and we're looking forward to a lot more growth. So y'all have any questions for me? All right. I encourage y'all to visit your local community library, whether it's Pleasant Hill, Zawali, Converse, Toledo, or Manny. I think I hit all 5. But just to see what's going on there and meet the librarian there, and follow us on Facebook so y'all can know what's going on. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to item 16, Mr. Stanley Cook, Deputy Coroner, report of the coroner's office activity during the period of July through September 2025.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Stanley.
So we've had a busy quarter. We've worked a total of 219 investigations. We had 81 death investigations, 28 cremation investigations, and 108 commitments investigations. And we had 2 sexual assault investigations this quarter. I would, on the sexual assault, there's been some changes in statute on that, and the coroner's office is now required to secure that evidence. And me and Chief Lowe found out through not knowing, we had 2 cases back to back. We had spent hours on the phone trying to resolve it, but we don't have a sane nurse serving this parish right now, a sexual assault nurse. So I ended up making an agreement with the Caddo coroner's office, and we was able, the sheriff's office transported the victim to the Bossier Parish Hospital to an ER. And the Caddo coroner's office and their sane nurse bailed us out. But we are working with right now, through myself and Chief Lowe, we do have a nurse here that is in our ER, Miss Lee, and that is interested in taking the classes to be a SANE nurse. And it's extensive. But Dr. Holder has worked with it. I've been working with Chief Lowe and Project Celebration, and we're gonna try to help her facilitate the funds to get her into this SANE where we can get her certified and have a local in-house SANE nurse to serve our people. So we're working with that. We're gonna see how that shakes out with the different ones that's gonna try to facilitate this. The cost is about $1,000 for her to get certified in it. And we're looking at maybe trying to work it, split it 3 ways, try to help cover that and have our own here. We're moving toward that. Also, we've been working some with Gulf Forensics now, and the results have been really positive. My pending cases, usually was 13 to 14 wait. And now I'm down to 4. And unfortunately, since we've been working with these people, I have had a homicide in Fort Wayne. We've had other deceased people found. You guys are probably aware of some of this that's going on right now. And with their partnership with the North Louisiana Crime Lab, through them, that we're taking care of the crime lab in Shreveport, but at the same time, we're trying to expedite our cases. And on the homicide, I've already got the reports back, got them to the district attorney, got them to the sheriff's office. They had the evidence packaged like I've never seen, labeled. It was JR seen it. One of the assistant DAs looked at it yesterday, and it was really I think it's going to end up being a good one to work with him. And for the first time, and I don't know when, I've actually only got 4 pending. That's because they're recent.
Right.
I have had an uptick in my overdoses with meth coming back. My last 3, and I'm waiting on 2 more, have been meth overdoses. So it's kind of changing a little. The trend's changing a little bit on that with my ODs. And on the vape information that the Finance Committee requested me to check into, I'm waiting on a price from Miss Jackie. But I'm looking to get some water bottles for that age group that you wanted me to target with the logos, vape can kill due to the situation that we had here. And as soon as she gets me an amount for you guys, I'll have it back to the Finance Committee. And I hope to start getting that in the schools just as soon as I can get it done. Any questions?
Any questions, thoughts?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Guys. Yes, sir.
All right, moving along. Item 17 is Mr. Danny Asbell with the Sabine Parish EMS Advisory Board, here to discuss the proposals for the ambulance service. Mr. Asbell, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Good.
So, just a little rehash. July 15th, at the July 15th police jury meeting, or the July police jury meeting, we came in and the board had, the EMS advisory board had recommended as a parish that we go out for proposals to advertise for ambulance service in the parish to see what is out there, what is offered, what would be the best for the 23 or however the 20,000 citizens of Sabine Parish, and what would be the best service to provide that, and what is the best offering to provide that. And that was an extensive process that we started in. When we came in then, we spoke with the police jury. On that day, we set a timeline to where that the proposals would be sent out. They would be received back on August the 29th. All of the vendors were asked to provide a copy for each police jury member, which was provided on August the 29th and made available September the 1st through Mr. Sepulvedo, where all of the proposals were available for your review. We also in July made the invitation to the police jury to participate in the grading process and have a representative to help us to grade the proposals. back on that, in that meeting. Last night was our grading. During this time, since these proposals were turned in on August the 29th, the board, the EMS advisory board received these proposals. They reviewed the proposals. So we submitted questions to each vendors that we had after reviewing the proposals and going through page by page on the proposals. On September the 23rd, we met here at the police jury chambers, and each proposer was able to come in and give an oral presentation and also answer questions to the EMS advisory board about the things that they offered, about the programs, about employee retention from the parish, about benefits, about everything that they did, including disaster preparedness, backup communications, how you would respond if the 911 system went down. Y'all know that that happened recently. All of those things were involved in this RSP to make sure that whoever serving Sabine Parish is not just putting 3 ambulances on the street, they're the total package. And I'm not saying that anybody is or is not. I'm just saying we have been diligent to try to find what is going to be the best possible service for the citizens that we serve in this parish. So on the 23rd, we had those oral presentations. We had 5.5 hours of oral presentations from the 3 vendors. We spoke with those 3 vendors independently, with just the board and those vendors, for a total of 5.5 hours. After that, September the 23rd, we went into the grading process. So we had weeks to review, a 6-hour sit down to answer questions and talk and hash out any kind of questions that anyone had about the services. We went into a review process and grading. The grading was done individually. In other words, the 5 board members are in the room. They can attest to what they did. There was a grading mechanism put in place with a total of 160 total points, breaking down everything from, and I think y'all have received something similar to that, from the services they would offer to their compliance with state and federal regulations, to their administrative and leadership team, and how that they have how they set up their leadership, how they train their supervisors, how they conduct their HR, how they train their employees, strategic planning and collecting data, how they plan for the future, how they plan for the locations of their trucks, how they collect that data, how they analyze that data, what they do with it, standard of care, how do they continue a standard of care, how do they improve their standard of care. We asked how their supervisory mechanism was going to be in Sabine Parish. How were you going to manage your people in Sabine Parish? What access would we have? Would we have supervisors present? Would we have different professionals here to do different things? Response time and performance reliability, where they had to provide what they projected that their response time would be to incidents within the parish, no matter where you are in Sabine Parish. And that is a benchmark that people are held accountable to. And that was presented by all of the proposers on what they had based on their models. And that is something that is a normal standard contract item, to hold people to a response time so that you don't sit at your house for an extended period of time waiting on an ambulance. Human resources, once again, and we also spoke with all of the vendors about local employees and how they would handle a process, whether they would have a process in place if local employees wanted to migrate into their system, would that be available? And all of those things are in place also. Fleet and equipment management. How do you manage your fleet? When do you retire your ambulances? When do you replace your ambulances? Who are the people that work on your ambulances? What kind of certifications do they have? All of these things were reviewed in detail. Every aspect of these 3 services were reviewed in detail based on the information that they submitted to the board. Their communication system, once again, we've had a 911 failure in Sabine Parish and a lot of places in the recent past, and they had to present, and this was even before that we asked for this information, but what is your backup communication system? Where do you take calls? How do you handle calls? What if your stuff goes down? What do you do? And so we had already anticipated something like that could happen, and it actually did. So we would know how our people would respond to that. Another thing about communications is having certified people answering the phone that can give you instructions on how to take care of your family until an ambulance gets there. Because you're the one, right? Until they get there. And everybody was in compliance with that. I'm glad to say that. And but we checked all of those things. We looked for experience. We asked for references. We contacted references in other parishes with contracts that deal with these services around the state of Louisiana and in other places. We examined their financial position to make sure that they were solvent, and they provided a statement saying that they were ready for their readiness to come and be part of the parish. Another thing that was very important to the board to review on all of the people that proposed ambulance service for the parish was the cost and what do you do and what do you have in place to help people in a hardship. In other words, I have a bill that I have to pay. I can't pay my bill. How do you help me through that? And man, there are great programs in place with all of the providers to be able to help people in hardship cases. And I think they all handle it a little bit different, but the same, if that makes sense. But there's things in place for our parish that we're trying to ensure that anyone that receives care from an ambulance, that they have the ability to pay their bill, they have the ability to get out if they have a balance. You know, like I said, there's depending on all of the situations and the way that people are covered or not covered, they may or may not have a balance. But all of those things are in place. We examined memberships. We examined all of the things that would relate to these services. Let me get back over here. Cost with price controls. And then we asked them to talk to it. We asked also for them to talk to us about disaster preparedness. You know, how are you prepared to respond in the case of a disaster? Y'all know that several years ago there was a hurricane situation in the South, and we were in a situation, to be honest, that we didn't have our home company taking care of our people in Sabine Parish. We had other ambulance services here, which is a normal thing during a disaster, and I don't have a problem with that at all. But we wanted to ensure that, man, no matter what, somebody's going to be here, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, what you do and how it happens, as long as we know that the people are taking care of our people. And so we talked to all of the services about their disaster preparedness. What do you have available for Sabine Parish if something happens? And what are you going to do for Sabine Parish if something happens? Are you going to be here? Are you going to be somewhere else? Are you going to be? And I'm happy to say everybody wants to take care of what's going on. So, but all of those things had to come into play. And so we examined extensively every part of these three services. And we went in and we independently graded the services. And when I say independently, each board member received the grading packet, which goes through all of the things that they were to submit to. Each board member independently on their own, without anybody else there, not as a group meeting or whatever, they did it on their own. They graded based on the information that was presented in the package. We can only take a man for his word. In the package, and we could in the package and in their oral presentations, and we took that information and we graded each service based on that. And we came together last night. We went into executive session. We reviewed each other's packets. We discussed any questions that we might have between ourselves. And the way that the grading went is each service received a number out of 160 points from each individual member of the board. So the total of 5 board members would have been 800 points, if that makes sense. So they had a total possible of 160 for their grade. We added the 5 grades together, and that was your grade. So the results of the grade, in third place was Med Express Ambulance Service with 660 out of 800 points total possible. In second place was Pafford EMS.
Who?
Pafford with 705 points out of 800 points. And in first place was Acadian Ambulance Service with 77 out of 800 points that were possible in the proposal process. So at that point, we announced the results to that, and the board voted unanimously. The members of the board voted unanimously to accept the grading of the process and to award Acadian Ambulance Service a sole provider contract for Sabine Parish, effective for January the 1st, 2026, with contract being negotiated and all of those things. There is, I know you had asked Mr. Bowe about, is there a trial period with that? Yes, sir, there is going to be a trial period where they have to meet benchmarks. They have to prove that they can do what they say that they're going to do. Of course, anybody that you deal with, I would totally say that anybody that you deal with, there's always problems. There's issues now. There's issues going to be in the future. There's issues everywhere. But like I said, I don't know. I can't tell you anything, but I can tell you that of the three proposals that we graded, that was the grade. We feel that that's the best for the citizens of Sabine Parish, and we recommended going into the contract with them. Well, we met with Mr. Burkett last night, and he looked at the process. He was at the meeting for a lot of it last night, and we appreciate him being there. But that is the direction that the advisory board would like to go with this. And the counsel for the jury is also the counsel for the advisory board, of course, and they're involved in the contract process and all of that, and they would be involved in all of that. And like I said, if you would like to have someone involved in those processes, man, y'all are welcome to be a part of that. And we are trying to be as open, transparent, and above board as we can. That's why we've been talking for all these months, to let you know, hey, this is where this is headed. This is what we're doing, and let you know what was going on. So, is there any?
Just for public knowledge here.
Yes, sir.
Your committee, your EMS advisory board consists of how many members?
5 members.
And
I'm
they
the chair.
are,
I'm the chair of the board, Danny Asbell. I'm a representative from North Sabine Fire Protection District.
okay,
We have Ms. Melinda Hurd, who is the 911 director. She is a representative that was placed to represent the police jury on the board, like y'all's personal representative.
mhm,
Lexi Rayner is South Sabine. She is the chief of EMS for Central Sabine. Central Sabine Fire District. Corey Clifton is Director of Pharmacy.
at the hospital. I'm also serving as the voice for our medical staff, practitioners of the parish, and our partners in long-term care.
Yeah, he is a boy. He liaisons for the board with the nursing homes, the clinics, the hospital, the doctor's offices, the hospitals. In other words, we receive feedback, we receive input on the services that are provided to all of the facilities in the parish, not just 911. He is the liaison and speaks with those people and talks to those administrators to give us input on where things need to be, or where things ought to be, or where things are. And so we're involved in all of those things. And then Jesse Brandon, he's hiding back there. Jesse Brandon, y'all know him, captain with the sheriff's office, but he's the assistant chief at South Sabine Fire District. And he was actually nominated by South Sabine, but he also represents the interest of the sheriff's office and South Sabine Fire District on the board. So all the public safety agencies are involved in this process, and all of the administrators of these agencies, all the board of directors of these agencies, as far as the fire districts and everyone, has been educated as far as knowing that this process is happening and knowing what's going on, and knowing that having their input, in other words, having their input and having representation.
Did y'all receive any phone calls or texts last night over this? No,
This morning,
nobody?
I did this morning.
I probably got 35 or 40. Started last night with phone calls and then some texts this morning. And all the voters in my area are telling me that if we don't stay with Med Express, then we go with the Pafford. And
Okay.
no, that's what my texter's saying.
The go with that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And except for one, I have one phone call different from that. And, I don't know what to tell. I mean, we put our trust in a board to make these decisions for us, you know?
And this,
Uh,
and this is not just any board. This is a board that these are the professionals that
Put
see
together,
this
that's right.
every day. They are on those calls, those emergency calls. This gentleman here, he's in a hospital. He sees all this. So me as a juror representing I know nothing about EMS.
That's me.
So I only can put my trust in my board. And y'all are professionals here. So me personally, that's your job. Sound like y'all did your homework. I know it sounded like it was a very long process. So, I mean, me personally, I mean, you done your job. And I understand there's our local people here. I'm sorry. I mean, I hate it. We're never going to satisfy everybody. But our goal is to give Sabine Parish the best possible service. That's it. That's all we ask for. And this may not be it. You know, just cause it's on paper don't mean it may not be it. And if it's not, guess what? Y'all do it again. I would hope.
We need to.
We need
That's
to,
the
but
thing
you know,
is man, when you this board, with the vision of this board 2.5 years ago when all of this started, the vision of this board was to say, okay, where are we now? Where have we been? Where are we now? And let's start with now and look to the future. You know, we have a future in Sabine Parish, and Sabine Parish EMS is going to evolve. EMS is an evolving business. I've been a paramedic for 35 years, and it's an evolving business. Things are not the same as it was 35 years ago. Things evolve every day and change. And EMS needs for the parish, for Sabine Parish, are going to change in the future. And they have changed now. And it's time, we're at a point to where we can look to say, man, in the future, we want to be able to go to the taxpayer. I'm not saying anything bad, but I'm giving you a thing. If I wanted to come to you, Mr. Bowe, right now and say, Mr. Bowe, we would like to take taxpayer money and supplement the ambulance service to provide a better service for our citizens, you would say, well, why do we need that? And I have nothing to show you. Do you see where I'm coming from? And so we're looking to, number one, establish accountability for whoever is our provider. And that way that we have benchmarks, that way we have ways to ensure response times, we have a way to ensure training, we have a way to ensure community involvement. We can ensure that they are going to be at, whoever it is going to be out in the community, taking care, training people, teaching people, doing the things that that everyone would want them to do. And then we can also ensure whatever the service is that the parish is looking for, we can ensure that that happens. That's the thing. And it starts right there with a contract. It starts right there with getting your service into a position where they're held accountable. And in order to do that, we were in a position, in my opinion, as a board, to either go this way and be in trouble, or go this way and be in trouble, where you either say, okay, we're going to direct contract with the current provider, and then you have to deal with the offset of that, the political offset of that, or you can say, look, we're going to put it out there and everybody show us your cards. Let's see what you have. What are you going to provide for the Sabine Parish citizens? And we're going to go with the best. And if the best doesn't show up, the best is going to go. I can tell you that. That's what I feel is going to occur with this board. I mean, I'm just trying to be transparent and honest. I cannot tell you that everything is going to be perfect January the 1st. I can't tell you that everything's perfect now, because it's not. I can't tell you that everything's gonna be perfect January the 1st, but I can tell you that January 1st, the board that this police jury has put in place to oversee the EMS services in this parish will have the ability to make changes if needed, to be able to hold people accountable, not only personally, but financially, and be able to make sure that the standard that we expect is being upheld. And that's what we've tried to achieve. And in order to do that, we felt it was like, man, we have been where we are for all of these years, and we have no idea what else there is. Let's see. And
How long has Med Express been our ambulance carrier?
I worked for Med Express in 1999 when they first came, right after they first came to Sabine Parish. And so
How many ambulances they got here?
they have three. He's talking to me, sir. Okay. They have three.
So they've been here a long time.
They've been here a long time.
We need a motion to approve it.
We gonna, yeah, if you,
What's the discussion though?
yeah, once the discussion's over, we gonna, bring it to a vote.
Did we, at one point or another, have, any requests for any taxes?
So there was a period at one time where there was an ambulance board that was thinking about the possibility for taxes. At one time, there was money going from the hospital to the ambulance service, where the hospital was supplementing their transfers, a small amount.
Mm-hmm.
But there has never been one tax dollar go to the EMS service at this period.
Did we ever have a request from any of these ambulance services?
Never. They've never asked for money. No one has.
I thought maybe we had somebody, I don't know which one it was, was it Acadia or Med Express or what?
Not
That-
while I've been on the board.
Never worked here?
Sorry.
Big what?
So when there was an
They
ambulance
were
service.
gonna ask the jury or gonna ask the taxpayers to submit a tax, to add a tax in order for them to provide services.
So when Acadian Ambulance Service came to Sabine Parish in the late 90s, they had bought a Life Care EMS.
Okay.
They had bought Life Care EMS. Y'all remember Life Care? They was here in Mansfield and all that. And there was a lot going on in the ambulance business at that moment in time. And Acadian was working in Sabine and in DeSoto. And Med Express moved some ambulances into Sabine Parish. And I don't know the reason why, or I was not dealing with the ambulance service at that point. But Med Express came to Sabine Parish, and Sabine Parish does not have the capacities to support more than one EMS service. And that is a problem in many small parishes in the state. That's why they have sole providers.
One day, the next day they need them all.
And depending, yes. If you have 50 tomorrow, you're gonna need 51. But anyway, so those things were in place. At that point, I think that in order to, this is my opinion because I was not privy in the ambulance business, but at that point, Acadian backed out and just said, we can't do this together. I don't know what the political stuff was going on. I didn't deal with the police jury then. And when all of that took place, I did work for them for a year, Med Express after that.
I'm just gonna say, from my position, the board's been appointed, they're professionals. That's who I'm gonna support, so I'm gonna support their decision.
I agree with you. I agree with you till a certain point. And the people out there is want to put me in this chair right here, and I've got to support them. So I'm sorry. No offense to anybody. I appreciate y'all's jobs. I trust y'all, but them people in Ward 1 who put me in this chair. And I'm sorry.
But you also appointed this board.
I did. But that board didn't put me in this chair either, though, Mr. Ruffin. And I mean, I have to do what my voters out there want me to do. Am I right? Do you feel that way too?
I try.
I understand what you're saying. I'm between a rock and a hard place here. I ain't gonna lie to
Right,
y'all
right.
because I trust this board that y'all are doing the best thing that y'all can.
But if we're not gonna take, well,
We got to take it.
Any other comments or discussion before we? Any other discussion, comments, questions to any of these board members before we move?
anymore.
Good.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barry.
What was that motion, Barry?
That motion is.
To accept the
for our
recommendation?
board's recommendation.
And
I'll second that.
I'll have to accept,
Is there no way to
Motion.
recommend that they send it back for review?
back to review.
Send it back
No,
for review,
it's-
table it for a month so y'all can discuss with yourselves and look at y'all's proposals. Yes, y'all have a board, but like you said, he was voted on.
We have had, each one of these jurors here has had a copy of those proposals. I got my copies, I read my copies,
I read mine.
and to the best of my ability, because again, I'm not a medical person, but I did my best. And I handed them off to Mr. Stevens. I handed him my 3 copies, so all these members has had the opportunity for those proposals. So
That's what I was hoping that you would have that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty tough.
So, but anyway, I have a motion on the floor and a second by Ruffin. All in favor? All opposed?
Right.
Motion carries 5-1. 5-1, 3. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all for y'all service.
Thank y'all.
Absolutely. We'll be here until the 1st.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes, sir.
Make something clear, but district attorney's office by law represents you all and your board and agencies. I have not had any participation in this whatsoever. Until I came up here last night for the meeting. So my point is, we will be working with the board to draft a contract, and I will consult with other parishes. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel. Our contract, we'll try to tie this as tight as we can to what they've said they can do. Like I said, I'm not involved. I haven't looked at any of this. I haven't talked to anybody. I don't know anything about it. My sole responsibility will be to try to draft a contract that is as tight as it can be to provide what they say they will and to see that, it's carried out. And I just want to make that clear to the board. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Moving on to item 18, consider the appointment of Mr. Blake Biles to the Board of Commissioners of Sabine Parish Waterworks Water District 1. Charles.
I'm Charles Pennington. I'm Vice President of Sabine Waterworks District 1. We discussed the appointment of Blake with contingent on what you guys decide to keep Broussard's place. Keith sold his business, sold his house, moved to Lafayette. Unexpired term, and I think he was just renewed a few months ago behind the second. But we were all in agreement. Blake, as long as you guys will approve him.
Blake wants it. Blake wants it.
Blake wants it.
He's got 2 boards though, but he's never had a meeting.
Well,
I can't answer that. He's out of town right now.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's all I can tell you.
Who's that?
Blake Biles. I make that motion.
Got a motion by Bo,
I'll stick.
second by Ramirez. All in favor? All opposed?
Nay.
5-1, 3.
Look at old Bruce. Thought I was the only one done that.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank
Too
you.
busy coming to these meetings. You're too busy the other mode.
Going for Florine? Pennington.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Thank you.
Here's a good one.
Gotta watch him over here, Bo.
I'm gonna
He
keep
gigging, he
gigging,
gigging,
he
ain't
gigging me, he gigging me.
Item 19, consider accepting Pete Hill Road into the Parish Maintenance System Board 1, Road District 18.
All right, I guess it's my turn.
Got 3 minutes.
Yeah, we tabled this our last.
We tabled it the last meeting. Everybody, well, Barry was the main one that tabled it and said do some homework on it. Well, I feel that this man standing right here has done all his homework on it. I can guarantee y'all. Chris, I'm gonna turn it over. I guess I'm gonna turn it over to you, which everybody's got what you sent me too. So, and you've even talked to Don, right?
Yes, sir. No, y'all, like Bo said, table it for further information, I guess. I have talked to 2 past parish employees. One long-time foreman, road foreman. Started in District 1 in about, he said around 1982, 83. Worked the road then, and his entire tenure for decades, almost 30 years working the road. He's in fact says, you know, I asked him about the bridge and the culvert. He said, you know, I remember when that bridge collapsed. He said, we contracted that corrugated culvert. The parish contracted that culvert out. He said, I didn't. He said, I wasn't part of that installation. He said, now we didn't work it that often. He said, it's in the middle of nowhere, but when we were out there, every time we passed through, we worked the road. Like I stated in the last month's meeting, I witnessed with my own eyes. Parish dump truck and graders with parish employees. One is no longer with us. He passed away a few years ago. The other one, I talked to him also since the last meeting. He didn't work there but about a year, but he said he remembered distinctly twice working that road. Once, him and the Mr. Bob Cooper that passed away when I witnessed him. Putting iron ore on it, grading it, working. When the bridge collapsed, and I don't remember the year, I'm gonna say early mid-90s. I used to come through the woods from Natchitoches. I worked at Valley Electric and lived in Mount Carmel. Sometimes, if I were around Provençal area, I would cut through Bellwood Church Road. That road wasn't named. Pete Road wasn't named then. I cut through that road from that one. Came through there one day, barricades up right before the bridge, road closed. Seen the bridge fell in. Several months later, I go by, the road was open, the new culvert had been installed, everything was open. I don't know what happened after the state audit was done in 2016. You guys should know or be privy to that information. But I'm going to assume whatever happened there had the road removed from the system, because shortly thereafter is when the lease gate that on the company road got moved from Barron Road to my property, about a half a mile. Halfway or so right there, the road turns off to the left, a company road called Pat Lester Road. That is where that lease gate was put when the property was initially leased 30 years ago, however long it was, timber company started leasing this area. And that's where they put the gate. There's a power line on Hill Road, went all the way through a live power line, maintained, trimmed, bush hogged, they done it last fall. There'll never be any pine timber planted under that.
Power company has the right to maintain that right of way. It jumps the road back and forth all up through there. The least gate was, that road was never gated, north end on Bellwood Church Road or the south end on Barron Road, ever.
Who put the gates, Hunters?
Yes, sir. The hunting club members moved the gate. I'm assuming under the direction of the timber company. When that happened, I called Mr. Tommy Patton, the road superintendent, questioned him. He said, I'm getting ready to retire, don't know anything about it, call our secretary, Mr. Ron Busby. So I turned around and called him. Mr. Ron Busby notified me that the audit had taken place and that all old information on, all the information on the old roads had been shredded, destroyed, no longer recorded. And he told me the date, it was as of such and such date forward, we'll have record of it. They're back, nothing. That's probably an explanation as to why we can't find anything in the system. It has been removed.
I don't think Mr. Busby, back then, he was even in here in 2016, was he?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Him and Mr. Tommy Patton retired about the same time, I think. And the gate went up just prior, about that time is when the gate got moved.
You was in here.
You was here, Bill?
Ron was here.
Was he here in 16?
In what?
No,
You come in
Not 16.
16,
I came in 15.
you replaced him.
Yeah.
16, he was 16.
But Ron was here,
He said 16, he was here.
He wasn't
Mr.
here.
Bill was here, then.
Bill was here. Bill, come on.
Was there another recommendation about roads before that? I'm not aware of it. I just found through public information that there was August 2016. And I knew it was about that time when the gate got moved. The question about the gate at my property line crossing the road was approved by police jury members. That bridge fell in. They came in, contracted a huge corrugated culvert, put in there. It didn't last 5 or 6 years. A lot of volume comes down that creek. It's about 60 feet bank to bank and about 15 feet deep. Put a 10 or 12 foot diameter culvert in there. It didn't last 5 or 6 years. It's still there in the creek. Collapsed, peeled back. See all the old Chris Oak Bridge timbers, piled. I bought when I bought the property, it was like that. No barricades, no road, no notification, nothing. I felt there a liability there. As being landowner on both sides of the creek, both sides of the road, I contacted our then juror, Mr. Pat Evans. I said, Pat, are y'all gonna replace that creek crossing? No, I don't think so. Mr. Montgomery had passed away on the north side over there. Nobody uses it. He said, I don't know what we would put. It cost a lot to put a bridge back in there that will stay. The other two didn't. I said, what about, I said, my concern is somebody taking a GPS trying to get to church to a singing one night from 117 and it sends them through there and they do a nosedive right off in that creek. No barricades, no warning, nothing. I said, what about me gating it on my property line? Both sides, north side of the creek and south side. He said, will it cut off anybody for their access to their property? I said, no. They have access from Bellwood Church, all that up there, from Barron Road to all this on the south. Won't cut off anybody. He said, I'll bring you up to the next meeting. After the next meeting, he called me back. It was just a couple of days later. It happened to be having me. Called me back. He said, we got approval for you to put your gates up. That'll be fine. He said, in fact, we will provide road closed signs. If you will, put them on your gates. They're about 3 foot by 4 or 5 foot. silver signs with black road closed on. I put one on the north gate, one on the south gate. South gate didn't last 2 weeks, somebody stole it. Last time I was at the north gate, it's still on. No problems. Until whatever happened and the timber company moved their gate. I was not even be aware that this was actually taken out of the system. But because I had a signed contract to sell the property in December, this past December. During the legal title exam, they find there's no legal access. I said, do what? It was when I bought it in 2005.
So which side are you trying to come in off at Bellwood Church Road?
No, the south end Barron Road.
It's just a
Bellwood Church.
bridge.
The longest
We're trying
part.
to get help, get the state to
Sir?
help us.
Come show me on this map.
On the
That's a
south
different
end
one.
Barron Road.
You trying to come this way?
Right here, yes. Right, this is a parish maintained road now.
This is
Barron
where the
Road.
culvert's out.
That's correct, yes.
You just want to go.
That's right.
All in a nutshell, Mr. Don, can I make the motion to accept this road legally back into the system?
Well, it's simple, that's the plan, but y'all know that 90% of parish roads don't have a recorded right of way in this parish. They just will probably foot trails and wagon trails, and so we acquire them through what you call acquisitive prescription, which means in the public gained a right of way. Now, if a police jury maintains a road, I forget how many years, I think 3, but anyway.
3 years.
If it's maintained, then and nobody's objecting, it becomes public. Token maintenance does not count normally, but there is, you have to go look up all the cases and laws, see what's routine maintenance and what's not. It kind of depends on where the road is, how often it's used and what have you. In this situation, I listened to his explanation, and he did come to see me. I'm not questioning anything he's saying, but I don't know. I mean, if you went to court over, is it a public road or is it not? It probably turned to a swearing contest. This one side say this, one side. And the timber company, I don't know what position they take at all. I don't know if they take a position. I have no clue. I don't know which company it is for sure. But, if the police jury ever did regularly maintain it, then you don't lose it. I mean, like a private person can lose a right of way by not using it, but a public body doesn't. And so I don't know if it was regularly maintained by the police jury or not. Back several years ago, the legislative order got involved and all, which was a good thing, and said we need to have an inventory of our parish roads where we have something in writing, we know what our roads are. And for whatever reason, this road's not on the inventory. I wasn't involved in that. I have no clue, who made the decisions or why, for what reasons. I'm not saying it wasn't good reasons. It probably was, but
I doubt it was anybody in here.
it's so I guess, Bo, in answer to what your question is, if you make a motion to put it into the system, and it passes, then it is in the system now. Whether or not the timber company would take opposition to that and say we don't want it in our system. We don't want it to be public. I don't know what their position would be. I have no clue.
I don't see how they have a dog in that, because it was. People in my area know it was.
Put a bridge back in there, we'll take it in.
Law.
They all know.
LA.R.S.48:491B1A states, all roads and streets in the state which have been or hereafter are kept up, maintained, or worked for a period of 3 years by the authority of a parish governing authority within its parish, or by the authority of a municipal governing authority within its municipality, shall be public roads or streets, as the case may be, if there is actual or constructive knowledge of such work by adjoining landowners exercising reasonable concern over their property. It is a quote of Louisiana active law. That gives everybody grounds to stand on, a law to back it up.
But the road hasn't been worked.
I witnessed it, sir, with my
When?
own eyes.
Okay, well, I know it's been worked too.
Okay, when?
In the last 30 years.
Okay,
for
30,
sure.
you're talking 30 years.
Up
It
until-
hasn't been worked in 30 years,
No,
so.
not- it
Oh,
has
no,
been
no,
worked.
it ain't
It
work
has
just
been
right
worked
before the
since
old
then.
bearing come in.
This is all I'm saying. Look, I see your point. I see your point. We've talked about this road. The company does have an interest in it because they want to sell you the rights to it. Means they own the road.
Well, I had when I purchased the property. and
So,
they were all title.
We
heirs and
can't
title
get here
before me.
and adopt a road in a system, take the company's road from them, adopt them as our road, whenever it don't even meet the criteria to be brought into our road system.
It's
So,
not, it's not the company, it's not a
Everything,
company
and look,
road.
but look, I understand, and I feel for you. It's nothing against you personally, but we can't do this. This is crazy.
I don't know if it's public or private.
This is
See
crazy.
how y'all looking at the DA trying to tell the DA what we can and can't do.
Who had it?
Really?
Who did
Well,
you buy it from?
I'm not trying to tell him, and look, and there's no disrespect to you, Don, but we have policy and procedures that we go by.
Y'all who y'all
I just told you.
But
Reggie
this is
James,
crazy,
Walsh.
man.
Well, why they didn't try to come up here and get me?
Because they all had access.
Bobby Hughes, for the record, I
No,
spoke
it's
to
not.
Bobby Hughes yesterday.
Timber company owns the road?
Yes.
No.
Yes, they do. They
Then-
got it for sale.
Then why is
You
he
can
the
buy
only
it,
one
can't
having
you?
an access issue with it?
Can't you buy it? Don't they have a price on it? How can they sell something that's not theirs then?
How did they obtain it?
Because it's their land.
How did they obtain it from us?
Because it's their land.
Where did they get the land from, y'all? My daddy owned this piece of property
Look
and
here,
didn't have to buy a
roads-
right of way to it.
The parish don't own the land. The parish gets
He
the
bought
use of it.
But it's went
Of
through
a
John.
road.
Ed Corley.
But anyway, this is what I'm going to say. Bobby Hughes, day before yesterday, a representative from the timber company contacted Bobby. And he's getting with their attorney. From what I remember the conversation, this guy, the representative from this company that's based out of Florida or somewhere, they investors. So he's getting with their attorney and he's going to get back with Bobby. That's that part of the attorney deal. In the meanwhile, Bobby has a road foreman that was here in 2000 and what year we come in? 2000 what? 12? No, us. We come in around 2012. He was a road foreman that I know when I was here that he says he's never put a piece of equipment on that road in his whole time here. And he said he will come here and say he didn't do it. It's never done it. And as long as he can remember that road has had a gate on it. So I asked this. Y'all know where I stand because I feel the way I feel, and it's nothing personal against nobody. That's our policy and our procedures. I feel you can't go and take somebody's road and put it into your system and say, okay, this is my road. Well, if that's the case, I can go down to Barry's and say, hey, look here, I'm going to take this road here.
The thing you're wrong about is that if there's a road and there's two property owners on each side and one of them sells it, you actually buy it to the middle of the road. You have to pay for that road, even though it's a parish road. So I don't know that you're holding water with what you're statement to say.
On what? On what part?
On the property. If there's a road in there, the people can own it, and we can still have a parish road through it. It happens all the time.
Right.
So the property actually belongs, they're paying taxes on it because their property line goes to the middle of the road. I can tell you right at my own house.
Well, the road goes through the timber company, so the timber company owns the whole block, is what I'm saying. So was this road ever adopted as a public road? We have no record. And all we could go is by what records we have. So whenever you get into litigations with it, Don, I'm afraid that we don't have nothing.
But what I'm trying to say is this. you know, what the real facts are and what the facts come out in the courtroom ain't always the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not taking a position either way. I'm telling you, this gentleman says he believes it's been maintained as a public road. Bobby
No, it
says,
has.
and I called and talked to Bobby
Reinstated.
about a week ago. I guess he's talked to the timber company since then. 'Cause
Day before
I
yesterday.
haven't had that
Day
conversation.
before yesterday,
But-
they contacted.
And so I'm just saying, I don't know. There's, you know, if somebody goes to court and you line up the witnesses on both sides, and then at some point a judge has to decide who he agrees with. You know, I don't know.
They can't
I'm not
landlock
familiar with
you,
the
can
road as far as I know. I've never been down.
But
it.
in-
I don't know. I haven't
Can you be
researched the history
landlocked?
of it. I don't know.
But see, the thing is, we've worked
Landlocked.
to get a policy and procedure here for criteria to accept roads into our public road system. There have been a lot of roads come through this desk right here that don't meet the criteria. So a public road does it serve a public purpose? Well, there's not even a resident on this property, is it? Does anybody live down there? So, you know, that's another thing. Everything in me tells me that it, you know, I just want to do what's right.
I guess I can't figure out why you and Bobby are so hell bent on this that y'all because
you set the because Kenny John's got about 4 roads over there that don't meet the criteria.
And Bo
that
has
we
voted
set
on
in place.
Eric, and I'll vote on Kenny John's any day of the week because it's wrong, y'all. It's my ward. It's our tax dollars in this ward that this man pays taxes on that property on this half mile.
So if we do it, then we're gonna have to just go back. and
Then
throw
we
the
don't
whole-
have no
throw
policy
the whole
then.
policy
Other
out.
words, if I could get
If we
5
start
votes,
breaking the
I
policy,
could
that's
make my
fine.
driveway public.
I mean,
Now, if I can say something.
you can't
It's a
break the
fact.
one policy for one and then.
No, but it is a fact. You get 5 votes.
If I could get
Whatever
5
this
votes,
board decides is a road, is a road.
right.
Bill sent me the regulations, and that's what it says.
So I could
It's
sit
to
here and
keep
say,
one juror can't go in and decide, but if he can get a majority, it's a road.
So
If
I
we
could
decide
say-
it is.
I could say, well, if I could get 5 votes, let's go rock everybody's driveways for
He
'em.
can't be landlocked, can
He can't be landlocked.
Well, now, wait a minute. That's a whole different discussion. You can't be landlocked, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have a free right of way. You may have to buy a right of way. Somebody can't
Okay.
refuse to sell you a right of way, but you don't get it free. And if you go to court, you don't get it exactly where you want it. You get it where a judge says it's gonna go.
Okay, Don, explain this one thing
So
to me.
I mean, look, Bo, I don't know the facts. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't know.
If I can say one thing.
Yes, sir.
I'm not disagreeing with anything this gentleman's saying. I don't have any personal knowledge, period.
I don't even know where the road's at.
4 previous landowners though.
The criteria to be met for a road to be accepted into the system is good and fine. Y'all done right by that. This road was a parish maintained road. That is the uniqueness of this situation. If anybody else wants to put up their driveway or whatever on it, they've got to meet that criteria. Their driveway was not part of the maintenance program of the parish, ever.
This has been.
This has been. That is the whole thing that seems to be overlooked. This is not a new addition. In fact, it's less length than it used to be. Because there's no need in going in and spending $1 million to put a bridge in there that will stay. It won't benefit. All I'm asking is for the legal access that I had from the nearest parish road that is currently maintained to my property, where this road enters my property, as I had in 2005 when I bought it. And as every ancestor of title have had back 30 years, I went back 30 years of records, names and dates when it transferred. No issues with title, no issues with access. Again, power line runs up this road. This is not a logging trail. It ain't a skid trail. I just asked for you guys to consider where I'm
So-
coming
so
from.
Swepco
and
trucks.
the
So
facts
say-
of this.
So you're selling this property,
It is for sale.
okay?
I
So
lost
why
that
wouldn't the
contract.
people who buying the property not have access to it?
Sir, I'm sorry, why would they not
So
have?
why would they not have access?
That's what we're
That's what-
asking.
That's what I'm
That's
asking.
what this
That's
whole
what
deal's
the
over. That's where it just
attorney-
came
He's
up.
got access to it.
I had it when I bought it.
He had it
Everybody else has, so why would the next person in line not have
because they
access?
just done a title search on the property for him to sell it, and they say he ain't got
Something
access
happened
now.
since I've owned it.
Since he's owned it, he's lost
But the
access.
company can't keep him out of it. If
No,
whoever
I
the
go
new
to
buyer
it.
got
I
access
got a
to it,
lot.
Was
right?
it ever taken out of the system?
It never was in the system.
Yes, no, it was taken out of the system, and the paperwork is gone.
It's gone. It was all, there was 80 boxes. of
Bill,
stuff.
don't shake your head. This was before you got here.
I know
We're
that.
just telling
This
this.
lady here
We're
been
just
here
telling
since
this.
the police jury started sharing.
But it was a, why did we contract, why did we pay for a culvert to be put in the ward, the parish?
The foreman has a different story than y'all's story.
No, he don't.
There's other
No, the foreman, then when that culvert was put in, we can talk to him right now. Dale Rawls.
He is the one that was there. The foreman after him came in effect after about the time all this was changing.
Who was that foreman, bro?
Dale Rawls was the foreman for years in Ward 1.
He would have been here today. And I will explain to you in private if you like why he can't or wouldn't be, but
Look,
he couldn't be here.
I don't want to get in no jam on this. That's where I could
I'm
care
not putting anybody in
less
jam,
how many roads Bo got down there. I
That's
could
right.
care less how many he got. This is what I don't want to do. I don't want to get in a jam on this thing to where we come back and we got litigations to where we're taking roads that are not ours, they're the timber companies, because evidently they got a sale price on it. Did they gonna sell you right away? Okay,
They want to,
okay.
but
Well,
it was parish maintained.
well, in their
That's
eyes,
the law you can stand on, right?
in their eyes, and according to the legal documents, they own that land.
So then they need to sell Swepco right away too, huh?
So utilities don't have to have that. They get.
I mean, this road, they drive up through all.
Hey, look, I understand what you're saying.
Well,
utilities ain't like us.
Mr. Don, you're our legal advisor. Can we get in trouble over this?
You gonna get
I'm not trying to be wishy-washy, Bo, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what position the timber company's gonna take. I don't know. Okay.
Now,
have
I
no
would
idea.
recommend that we table this till the timber company talks to Bobby. They may come say, okay, y'all can have it. But he's got to get with their attorney. So this guy couldn't make that call.
What will it mean either way?
Well, if they give it to you, then you have no litigations about it. You could take it up, but it's still not brought up to specs to be brought into our road system. So
Even if it's a road
it's,
that
now,
I had before.
it could be a process that is brought in to where it would have to be brought to some time. I've never seen this road, don't know what it looks like, but I've heard about it. They tell me it's just an old woods road. So that's just what I hear.
Yes.
Now y'all have y'all story. But the thing is, this is not going to be an overnight deal. If Bo wants it brought in, let's do it the right way to where we're legal and we don't have to look back at nothing. But still yet, does it serve a public purpose?
Yes.
Does anyone live down there?
No, sir. There's property owners. You have to have a residence for it to be a public road.
Well,
To serve a purpose?
to serve a public purpose, yes.
Not
Really?
for access.
Not just access to your property.
Come on.
That's
I don't think we say that in our ordinance. I
That's
think
how
what our
it works.
But if
ordinance
you're
says
bringing
more
it
than one
in, is my
property
point,
owner.
Bo, if you're bringing it in.
It
If
has,
that's the case, we,
it has to be brought up to specs, right?
yes.
But
Has
he's
it been-
going back on, does
has
it
it
serve a
been-
public purpose? I mean, the purpose would be to get to my property.
Okay.
If that would not be a purpose in anybody's eyes, something's wrong with y'all.
But anyway, my recommendation would be to table this till Bobby comes in. He's our road superintendent. He's gonna talk with the guy from the timber company. We'll see what they have to
And see if
say.
they own it.
And
We need something in writing from them that says that they own it and when they acquired it.
that's
They
part
bought
of
it
the
in
process.
21 or 22, 3 or 4 years ago.
Who did? The timber company bought it?
Yes, sir.
So you saying they do own it?
They bought it from Mobile.
Can I point out something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We keep talking about did they own it or not own it? They own it.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is there a right of way across it, not to own it? They own it. I don't think that's an issue. They own it, period. Now, I go back and what I'm trying to point out is this. Bill, you're about as much or maybe more expert in a way on this than I am. So if I'm saying anything you take issue with, tell me, okay. But all these roads in our parish just became about through an acquired servitude of use. And as it was, he read correctly, that if you maintain a road for 3 years, okay. Of course, then you get into all kind of court case now. What's maintained, what's not. I mean, you get into all kind of issues. What's token maintenance versus regular maintenance? And it comes down to specific facts. It's very fact specific, in my opinion. And I don't know anything about the facts of this. I have no clue. Okay. But at some point many years ago, and Bill can tell you better than I could, that rightfully it was decided that parishes need to have an inventory of roads and not just have road crews out here, going up and down this road and that, and have an inventory and know what your public roads are. And I know it's Sabine Parish was a process that was went through. I wasn't a part of that process. And I mean, I was DA when it happened, but I didn't go out there and decide which ones could go in and which ones don't. But I know the police jury went through a process, and the roads that they felt like were the public roads were put on the inventory. And I know there were some roads that were said, no, that they're not public, we're not going to keep them on the inventory list. And that's where we're at, okay?
Well,
We were ordered to do that. We were ordered to
You
do
ordered
that.
to,
Yeah.
William, you were here.
You're right.
You and me have been around too long, but anyway.
Yeah.
With 3-year maintenance allows you to take it over as a parish road. It doesn't mandate that you take it over as a parish road.
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay, that's the second thing is whenever I was here when the audit took place, we went through and analyzed the roads. All the jurors brought their list of roads in their districts or wards. Well, actually districts, because we're not on we're a unit system. And we put that list together and adopted those roads in public session. Looking over the records from 2015 when I was here forward, this road is not mentioned either as being dropped or picked up. It's just not mentioned.
Right. Now, I will throw in there, a lot of these of the gates that have come about, it's because of hunting leases. Back in the 80s when the timber companies IP started and then Boise followed and everything got leased up all of a sudden. We've not had a war with that with hunters locally and all. But now everybody's on the lease and they're happy with it. But they came in and put up gates to keep, to keep people out of their leases.
That's what happened to you.
And so again, I do think it would be wise.
Okay.
You don't have to agree with them, but at least find out what their position is, the timber company, about it, and see what position they are taking. I don't know them. I don't have any dealings with them, but at least see what their position is, so we don't buy a lawsuit.
What about the bridge that you said the road lease to that bridge had washed out?
Yes. Bill, if I understand the bridge he's talking about, he's not wanting from a parish road to his land. What he told me is about a half mile. I think that's correct.
Yes.
He actually paid Doug Dawkins to do a survey and have a flat for him. Okay. And so that's about what he's. The bridge is on the other. I think he's just using that to show that it was a through road at one time, went all the way through, tied in some roads, went into the active parish.
Well,
So
but
the
the thing
bridge
about
is
it, my question is, if it is taken into the system, would that bridge come into play?
No, I think he's asking to just take in up to where the property is and his property and
And just.
not take over the
Yeah,
stuff
okay.
on the other
Okay.
side.
Not even go to your barricade.
Well,
Up to the property line.
The parish put the barricades on the road, right?
Yes, sir. Road closed signs.
That's
we
my
taking
understanding.
roads in that were knocked off of the list during the audit, and they got pushed out or forgot or something, and we came back later and readopted them back into the system. Have we not done that? Bill's shaking his head yes, because he knows we have, but
Yeah,
we
we've done
voted
that
on
with
it.
some,
We
and then we've
have
taken
done it.
some out that one.
They
We've
got
gone
over-
both
They
ways.
got overlooked.
Yeah.
So we have done that.
And this road, the parish put the barricades on each side of the bridge. So evidently they had something to do with it, not saying what, but.
And y'all were asking about a gate or Chris explained the gate. There was never a gate at Barron Road. Never at the end of Barron Road that goes into this property. Never has been during all the leasing and everything till.
Like Mr. Don said, you know, in the eighties or nineties, they came in leasing, these lease gates, single pipe gates came up.
That's why I asked you that a while ago.
That Pete Hill Road all the way through never was gated, ever,
Ever.
ever in my lifetime, 53 years old,
Now,
never.
that's not what I was told. I was told there was a gate on it right now.
It is.
It
It was
is.
moved after
Rain
2016, 18, somewhere along in there is when that gate got moved. 3 or 4 years, 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know, time is by these days. but-
So
that gate
is
was moved
today,
off
I
of
just
Company
want
Road.
to just clarify something for me. Today, is there a gate blocking access to that road right now?
Yes, sir.
The Hunter's Gate.
That's right. They got moved from
I
the
don't,
road
I don't
on
care
that
where
map
it's moved. I want to know if it's
about
there.
5 or 6 years ago down there. Before that, prior to that, never gated.
But I think what you're asking is yes, and if we took it over, we'd go out there taking the gate down.
That's right.
Somebody put up.
Move
It would have to
back-
get,
move
it would
back
have to
where
get
it
taken down because then it's.
Yeah, move it
it's
back
an
to where,
access road.
maybe move it back to where it was at.
I'll do that for them.
But is there a gate at your property?
Yes, sir.
So it
They
has
keep
two
people
gates.
from running off. And why would you want to go to the?
No, I'm just asking. I'm asking. So there's two gates on it.
No, it's
You
a gate and a
understand why?
barricade, what you,
I understand.
a gate and a
I understand.
The
barricade.
police jury said, okay, to put those gates up.
Gotcha.
I wasn't blocking anybody off from their property. That kept any liability down for them or me. From somebody running off in that culvert, on top of that old culvert
On that.
in the creek.
So there's two gates, one on Barron Road, and then
Yes,
there's another one on the other way that used to come in,
that's correct. That's the north.
whatever
Entrance
road
of
that
my
is.
property.
So it's
Bellwood
gated
Church
off
Road.
on both ends. This
Bellwood
whole
Church
road
Road.
is.
No.
No. Bellwood Church Road.
Bellwood Church Road also got removed about the same time that Pete Hill Road did. Parish maintained it to the parish line from Behan Loop, Porterville Road, to the parish line. Parish graders working. About that same time that gate got moved from the company road off of Pete Hill down to the, by Barron Road at the mouth of Pete Hill Road. Bellwood Church Road got gated. From Providence, from Bellwood in, just past Roy Massey's, just past the parish line, that's where the gate went across. Off of Behan Loop, that's where the other gate went across. It also got dropped. I'm not asking to pick all that back up. I used it for access to the north side of my property. That's why I know this. When the gates come up, I quit using it. I just use the south access only.
Tell you what, I would, as your advisor, I'd make a recommendation. I agree with what you said, that let's get Bobby back. I would like to talk to the timber company attorney myself, see if there's anything could be worked out, short of getting into all this.
Right.
It should.
And I think that would be and I'm not talking unduly delayed you either, but, it's a possibility. Sometimes you can reason with those people, sometimes you can't. I'd like to say to them, well, they would just give him a right of way, leave the jury out of it.
Yes, I agree.
You know?
Just so that it's transferable.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm,
Yeah.
access. to
He ain't
that.
asking to
No,
maintain
I'm
the
not
road.
asking.
Right.
Don't know.
He ain't asking to maintain it or anything.
Possibly,
Right.
and we could avoid all of this,
So you will talk to them for us?
Yes, I will.
Thank you so
Bobby will be
much.
back Monday. I think it's Monday he's gone. But anyway,
Don's gonna speak to him himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get with Bobby if I get the information. I need.
Y'all can get together and talk to Tim. You might be.
You know, and after
I
our
hadn't,
monthly
but it's
meeting
been on my
last month, he called and called and called, and nobody never did notify him. But the day before yesterday, I guess he reached out to him again, and a representative from the company called.
All he's
And Bobby told him what was going on.
transferable
Yes,
It was a lot simpler when it was boss and IT on the fair.
that's what I'm talking
I
about.
figure he can get.
That's what I'm talking about. All right,
So
well, I got a motion to
We got
table.
that.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion and let Don talk to the timber company.
I'll second that.
Motion by
I second
Bruce,
Second by
Yeah.
Bo.
second by
Mr. Ruffin, I don't care.
Mr. Ruffin, gonna second, Bo.
I want all that on record. That way I know y'all all in favor of this.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries 6-3.
Anybody opposed? Anybody opposed, Bo?
No, nobody opposed.
Ain't nobody opposed on that one.
All right.
Oh, I'm glad you broke the bridge.
And look, trying to do nothing perfect. I just don't want to get in a jam.
I just want to make sure that we're all on the same
Yeah.
page with the facts and the history.
Yeah.
Not missing anything and so narrow-minded on one particular subject that we understand.
And see, and then also I want you to understand, we hear this side of the story, but then there's another side of the story, so, you know.
Well, and there's a side that's kind of got lost.
Yeah.
There is that.
And somebody's gonna have to take somebody's information and say that it's believable.
Yeah. All righty, well,
Thank you,
hopefully we can get it worked out for you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Running on to item 20, consider adopting a resolution to add Toro Church Bridge structure number 0843312489-32421 on a recall number. This is
All system bridge.
Yeah, it's on System Bridge.
What does that mean?
That means that the state of Louisiana will pay for the repairs. Maybe.
yes.
Okay.
Is that
So-
Toro Church Bridge.
So they're gonna take over that bridge into their system.
Right.
Is that what you're
What
saying?
happens if the bridge needs to be rebuilt, we
Mhm.
accumulate money each year. We get a contribution from the state and it builds up. And this bridge will be added to the list of bridges on their system that'll be available
To be replaced.
to be used. That fund money can be used to repair, replace.
What do we need?
I need a motion on this.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Bo, second by Ruffin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item 21, discuss transfer the amounts between line items in parish-wide transportation fund 02, Mr.
What that amounts to is I have the authority by the budget resolution to move funds within, move money within a fund. I can't increase the expenditures or the revenue without board action, but within those line items, I can move money. There was a line item, was repair and maintenance supplies, parish-wide transportation that exceeded the budgeted amount, and there was a repairs, light and heavy maintenance that was under it. And I transferred $40,000 from the repairs, light and heavy to repair, maintenance, repair supplies. Just to let y'all know that.
That's just information.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or thoughts on that item? Okay.
Did the jury have to act on that?
No. I just was gonna let y'all know that I've done that.
Okay.
Item 22, discuss parish finances. Mr. Barry?
That will be me. This is a copy of a report, last in July, last year. We used to get these on a monthly basis. This is the last one I have. My motion is gonna be that we receive these at our board meeting so that we can track what's going on. As you can see, the general fund right now, back in July of 24, had $8,600,000 in it. I thought we had a resolution passed where we would maintain 7 million in it. So I just want to be able to see these numbers.
Did we increase that amount?
No.
No.
I know we discussed the increase that amount because of the.
If it goes over, isn't it supposed to be distributed to us to use? So this is the last report I have. I'm sure the numbers aren't correct. But I make a motion that we receive this report on a monthly basis.
I second that.
Can you, make an amendment for me for that? Make it a priority that it be prepared monthly? We come our office does a lot of things, y'all. Every day I come with priority on my mind. It gets changed 10 times a day. What I would like is for this to be made a priority.
Me too.
So let's use the word priority in it, in your resolution, so that I know that I have the support of the board. If something doesn't get done,
This is done. I think this is very important, and
okay, that's fine.
it needs something. So yes, I'll amend it to say that this is a priority.
Second.
Got a motion by Barry, a second by Bo. All in favor? All opposed?
Thank y'all. Also like to make a motion, I'm gonna go back to something that we passed, but it got rescinded because of timing. But when we get a proposal to spend funds, equipment, whatever it is, that we're gonna buy, that attached to that, and hopefully coming from our finance committee, is where the funds are coming from. So if we're paying it out of a certain fund, it's gonna come from somewhere, just say, this is what we're spending, this is where it's gonna get paid from. So I
On
would
a
like those two
purchase.
things attached. Yes, sir.
On a purchase.
Second that.
Thank you.
I got a motion.
Don't we do that anyway?
Barry,
Do we do that? But normally,
No.
second by Bo,
we
it's
do not.
priority.
We don't do it, we can do it.
Should do it.
oh, we do it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
But when we would, for an example, if we buying equipment, if road district buying equipment, a truck, for an example.
Road district is coming from the road district.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's.
But
and
then
that's
a
stated.
portion of it come from road district and then when
Could
it,
come from the Parish Transportation Act,
yeah,
which we mentioned that. If we buy something at the landfill, it could come from the sales tax fund.
yeah,
But that's not an issue.
okay.
Moving on, consider rescinding resolution number 9839 of August 2025 and adopting a resolution to move the temporary courthouse janitor into a permanent position. During the August 2025 regular meeting, the police jury passed a resolution to authorize the hiring of a temporary janitor to fill the courthouse janitor position during his leave of absence. A temporary janitor was hired on August the 25th, 2025. Since that time, the courthouse janitor has retired and the position has been vacant. The courthouse maintenance supervisor has requested the jury to move the temporary janitor into a permanent courthouse janitor position.
I make a motion, we do that.
Any discussion, questions?
Where's it? Well, he been here all morning. He done left. I guess that's what he wanted.
Yeah, the young lady was here. I met her this morning when we walked in. Also,
Everybody says she's doing a fabulous job.
Yeah.
I understand
Oh,
she
that's
does.
who it is.
Yeah.
Cleans up your mess.
She keep, yeah. There's
There he
DJ.
is.
Yeah.
There he is.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get back. Y'all talking about
We
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
all
lady.
about you and your helper.
So you've been here all morning, then you left when we needed.
where we at on it?
We own it now. This is the item. Introduce yourself, ma'am, to the members here.
My name is Mary.
she's been filling in for our janitor, temporary, has done a wonderful job.
We even get emails from the judge's office up there about how good it is.
I didn't realize who it was, but I can vouch for her. She's all right.
Ron, he was with us 13 years, but he officially retired. Today is his last day, so.
So she's the new one.
I think we can just turn her permanent.
We done made the motion, haven't
You want it, Mary Ann?
We got, we have a motion on the floor.
Motion.
We got a motion by
Yeah.
Bruce,
Second.
second by Barry. All in favor?
You hired.
Congratulations.
Go to work.
Go get that mop.
Done deal. We should run out of here.
Going to work.
You're gonna get
Going
that
to work.
mop.
Have time fool, huh?
We could just get DJ to do the same way.
Yeah. All right, authorize a corporate endeavor agreement between the Sabine Parish Police Jury and the Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs. This is something that we do annually, Mr. Bill.
Yes.
I make a motion, we authorize that.
Got a motion by Ruffin, second by, who's that, Buck
Kenny
Kenny?
Jones.
It's budgeted, we budgeted every year, Bill.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's already in.
Awesome.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right,
We're actually required to do that. They send us a contract, that building's not gonna be open.
item 25 is capital improvement program priority list, 3 years, 26, 27, and 28. This is just a reminder only to the jurors. This is our PTA.
We're still not adding roads yet, though, right? So far, we.
So
haven't
far
added-
not, so
Okay.
far not.
All right. I just wanna make
We're
sure. I
trying,
don't
we're
miss
trying
out.
to,
We start adding roads, I don't wanna miss
we're
out.
trying to convince Mr. Bird to drop some of his, so.
He did have a pile, didn't he?
All right, moving on, item 26, to authorize payment of approved bills.
Make a motion, we pay all approved bills.
Second by Bo. All in favor?
Oh, you slow.
All opposed?
Make a motion, we transfer our sales
Wait a
tax.
minute, Bo, got to be called
I knew I was gonna get it.
Appropriate transfer funds,
Make that motion.
$500,000.
My second.
Motion by Bo, second by Ruffin. All right, committee reports. Oh, let's see if I had some in here somewhere. I don't think we had.
I was gonna say, I ain't heard nothing. DJ ain't called me about anything, so I guess courthouse doing all right. Ain't nobody complaining out at the cemetery.
We didn't have a solid waste committee meeting this month. We'll probably have one next month for the end of the year, kind of discussing the progress of our sale. We did, however, have a committee meeting in Road and Shop. We addressed most of it here. There were a few things that were discussed that didn't really need jury approval. Just probably want to give everybody an update on. So,
We had in that, there was a replacement
yeah, there
of
was.
a pickup truck versus a new engine.
Correct. And this is
So we
the
refer that to the finance committee.
That's true.
Solid waste.
That was in Road and
That was
Shop.
Road and Shop. That's the one, yeah. And I hope when we consider buying that, we can look at, I don't see buying a brand new $80,000 vehicle and putting it in the road.
Right.
Why
It's in,
we can't get can we purchase a used vehicle?
well, we got some, we got used vehicles.
Well, no, yeah, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I bought a 2012 for $17,000.
Uh,
25,000, you can get a 250 diesel 4-door and wear it out. I mean, it's got 100,000 miles, it's still got 200,000 left.
That,
That's for your district.
Find them.
no,
No, that's not money.
that's a parish
That's
wide.
Parish
Parish
wide,
wide.
pothole crew, pothole crew.
That unit is in, he sent it to down here to Crittenden's, and he's gonna give us a written
Quote on,
quote about what all he, and give us a price. Cause like I told Bobby, I said, it's, not that we don't trust you by no means, but,
but
give us something in writing showing where this mechanic says it's gonna probably take X amount of dollars to replace this engine or whatever.
This truck, is this a half-ton truck?
Yes.
All right, that's the wrong truck for what it's being used for.
Yeah.
Because it's pulling trailers and it's pulling, you're gonna constantly have transmission trouble.
Yeah.
It's the wrong truck for the.
Need to be replaced.
You need at least a 3/4 ton.
So
truck. You're
his-
gonna pull
so-
trailers. So
It's a
fixing
pothole
it,
crew.
yeah,
Yeah.
fixing
They ought
it,
to have a one ton.
So he had mentioned also if on this unit here, if we replace it, he's gonna move it to something else and put a different truck on the pothole crew. He's gonna move them around.
move around a bit.
Like you
Yeah,
said, you know, pulling those trailers ain't for these half tons.
No, no.
I think the only half-ton truck we ought to have is the one that the road superintendent drives.
Mm.
You know, but
So
to
we
go
need to
buy a
go-
used one, like Barry's saying, I mean, go up there, they got one sitting up there at Floyd's, I bet you it's $60,000.
But come the first of the year, we're gonna move some vehicles around, so we're gonna have some extra vehicles. Just gotta wait
You
till
have
after.
to buy something. I like the idea of leasing it.
We have
But
a,
I don't know about some of those vehicles, if the lease option is good, put some in the
Ward 6 and 10 has a 3/4 ton pickup truck, fuel tank on it. We're gonna move it down here to the road department. And we have another vehicle, out here at the OEP office. That vehicle's gonna be available come first of the year. So,
OET, David Davis.
yeah,
He's getting a new one.
I don't
No,
know,
he's
he's
retired.
already been retired.
David is.
Been
David
training
is.
long enough.
Oh, okay, he's gonna give that truck up.
other than that,
I'll make a motion with adjourn.
courthouse, everything good in that?
Yeah, that's what me and DJ was talking. Ain't nothing happening.
All right.
Ain't asking for big money anyway.
As far as operations, I'll touch on a few things. I don't know if y'all guys had a chance to go by our pug mill out here. Please make time to go by there and see that operation. It's something for us to be proud for the parish
I
and
agree.
for the people of this parish. I think there was a report, Miss PR lady, one at 9,700 tons at some point
Yes, sir.
in one of our reports.
Our Facebook has been putting out a lot of informational posts about what the Pug Mill's doing, what y'all been doing around the parish. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback. The parish, our citizens are greatly appreciative of knowing exactly what y'all are doing. And I've gotten a lot of thank yous in person, and thank you that we are looking like other parishes that are able to do that. They feel like they have a line to communicate with y'all and to know what y'all are doing better.
I got
But
a
it's-
lot of
it's,
calls on Pump Station Road, but that's Bo's doing.
It's
We kind of teamed on that, I think.
But
It don't matter, it's parish.
But
Bill, did we get an opinion on selling the oil sand?
We
Did
can't sell
we
it.
get anything on that?
No, it's still in review, I'm sure, Barry. It's been in review for like 4 months.
See, I'm
He's-
starting to get calls because, man, people love this stuff. I mean, it's going in our
But
crew.
we wanna sell it.
No.
We want, yeah, because
Yeah.
I think we can, that.
Eventually, but we don't want to right now.
Yeah, we need
We
to.
want to put every
It can
ounce
make
of it
more
on
than
our
we can
road.
Put out, I can tell you.
I think Mr. Weatherford probably got him to speed up a little bit. We was over at a workshop a few weeks ago, and whenever that lady from the Attorney General's office was there, I seen whenever he squared up to her, and I said, she ain't leaving this room until he talks to her. So
Lock the
anyway,
door on her, that's good.
yeah, hopefully we could we'll have an
Yeah,
opinion, but
yeah.
but
Because
no,
people are
guys.
starting- independent contractors, people want to put their driveways now, they're seeing this stuff, and if you
Yeah.
had an independent contractor that was buying it and laying it for them,
Y'all,
that could happen.
I'm not sure we'll be able to do that.
But take time to go out and
You
look.
have to go to another government entity.
That's what the opinion is for.
But,
Because
but
I think, this is my opinion.
Mhm.
I think they're taking their time and they're a little dubious about issuing that opinion because they're afraid we will compete against industry.
Okay,
I think.
that makes
Well, it
sense.
would be.
That makes sense.
And so I don't think we'll be able to sell to
To
Joe
individual.
down the street.
But we may be able to
I'm
sell
on
to
it on my
another.
road, but I'm afraid they'll drive faster than what they do now.
Yeah, they will. Believe me.
But yeah, guys, y'all go out and look. Tracy's doing a great job out there. Well, all of them are.
I went out there, he was eating, didn't offer me a sandwich or nothing. I
That-
ain't going back.
That thing is producing 120 tons per hour. It's getting it. And whenever those trucks come in, yesterday
On your road?
I went out on Riles Road, and they got the two belly dumps out there, and it's a 1 hour turnaround from unloading. It goes back and they back in an hour and load. So them belly dumps are just rolling. And I mean, it just, we're covering so much ground, and it's good material.
It's fast.
Anyway,
I'll tell you where it really works.
I want to commend those guys out there at the Pug Mill and Bobby for getting that oil sand. And we got a shed put over the Pug Mill to protect it from all the computer stuff. We had one of those portable sheds get put up because, right now we're fortunate that we don't have any rain, but not really, but we need some rain.
Amen.
Anyway, moving on. All right, Bo.
Motion adjourned.
Motion by Bo, second by Bruce.
We're gonna make sure our public relations lady realize, let them know the roads is being fixed out there with that all saying.
Not only that, but, last month we published the list of upcoming roads.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking
That's what I'm talking about.
And I want to commend my public relations lady. She's working hard.
Y'all move fast. I haven't had to learn to run fast with y'all. But yeah, have y'all, I'll show you on Facebook. We're averaging anywhere between 16